Looks like we got a bunch of airmen. I hope they're not all like this. See those? Yeah, I hope they're not all like this. Come on. Okay. A little better. dibs on the bad W's. I don't know if we're gonna find anything in here, man. I got a bunch of airmen. It looks like about half the box might be circulated, but I've got a whole bunch of airmen in here. And it used to be cool to see the uncirculated stuff, but when there's no W's in it and no errors that I'm aware of yet, I don't feel like being the guy that discovers it because I don't have the patience for that. So it makes for a pretty unexciting hunt. But look what I got today. $20.21 crossing the Delaware. Well, that's fortunate. I've been getting so many airmen. So many airmen. Someone was saying they thought it was going to be a key date. I don't know how that can be possible unless I have touched every airman prior to, look, 81. I might have to save that one. You had one of them? Oh, nice. That's cool. I've never done that before. I've never picked up any silver out in the wild like that. I mean, I've gotten it when I've asked for halves and stuff, but that's pretty cool. See, like some of the rolls you can see here, it's kind of like zebra-ish. Got a couple of older quarters in here, but certainly not the kind of box I was looking for. But it's quarters, and I've been struggling with quarters. And I heard from somebody else that's in Florida. It might be a Florida thing, because I know that you said you've had no problem. He said he heard the same thing. He actually wasn't even able to get pennies. So I was told quarters and dimes. So I'm hoping it does not get more than that. My one bank that's closing was still able to do my standard half order. So the halves will still be good for the week, but was not able to get quarters for me. You heard it today? Yeah, I hope that it doesn't. I hope it's not like it was before, where it's like people are super stingy. The bank I went to today actually had been closed because a bunch of the people at the bank got COVID, and she ordered quarters for me today. So I don't know if it's certain banks or whether she just doesn't know better yet. That one's pretty nice looking. It's darn salties, man. But I asked her to order 3 boxes for me for Friday, so we'll see if she actually gets them or not. Yeah, I agree, but you know, I think they use it as a convenient excuse too, though. I think they lean on that pretty heavily, just because they can, because it once happened, they can say, "Oh yeah, it's the coin shortage," versus them saying, hey, we don't want to spend a couple extra bucks ordering stuff. Yeah, that's what I had been doing before. I was stocking up on penny boxes, but then I was having no issues with coin, and I got lazy and I've gone through most of my stuff, so I don't have a backup hoard. So I'm in deep water if they shut things down and make it hard for us. Maybe it'll give me a chance to get myself schmorganized with all the stuff that I've hoarded up to this point. I hope not, though. Yeah, I mean, the one guy said that he was having trouble with altcoins. Like I said, they've said nothing about pennies and nickels. But I've had such a struggle getting circulated pennies and nickels. So it's like the coin I can get is all brand new, which is no good either. Wow, 50 boxes. That'd be pretty sweet, though. Are you still shooting for your 100-box hunt, or is that on a back burner for right now? Yeah, I can't go Guinness. I might have to switch to 2020. I wouldn't do that to you, though. Just have to go door to door and ask for people for their spare change. There we go. There's a roll. There's a roll I was looking for. I hear you. Have you started hoarding those boxes yet, or no? I would think that might take a couple of days to pick up 100 boxes. Hey, Jimmy Lakari. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. And thank you for hitting the like button. It's always appreciated. Down to 6 or 7, yeah. It's kind of hard to do a 100-box challenge with 6 boxes. You'll get there, I'm sure, though. Just have to have the firm date to make that happen. Man, I really want that extra leaf. Will the banks actually order that much at one time for you? Or are you going to kind of spread that out pretty conveniently across a number of banks? I mean, what's the most you're going to pick up from one bank? Yeah. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if you were doing like 20s or 25s or something crazy like that at a single bank. I think that mine would look at me kind of cockeyed if I tried to do that. The guys that are able to get, you know, like 10 boxes of halves from a single bank, I'm always pretty surprised about that, but they're able to do it. The one bank that I'm having to move to when mine closes, I tried to get her to order 2 boxes for me, and she's like, well, it's going to eat up my ability to order some money. I'm like, it's 2 boxes. It's $1,000. It's not, you know, you're running a kind of a tight ship here if that's going to mess up your system. I'm like, the dude just down the street from me is doing 6 boxes a week for me. But I guess it depends on who your supervisor is. I think the guy that I'm dealing with, the vault teller there, he's been with the bank for 30 years, and I think he's like the main guy, so he didn't really have to answer to anybody. Where I think she's just a cog in the wheel. Look at that one. Yuck. That's an ugly quarter. Yeah, most of them don't. If you keep it lower like that to like a couple, they generally don't have an issue. Or I haven't had much of a problem, at least in the past, with people turning me down. But not looking forward to having to find a new pickup bank though. Thinking I'm going to open an account at Wells Fargo. It's in the same proximity of the other banks that I'm dealing with, so I can kind of include it in my route. And when I stopped by there a couple of weeks ago trying to find loose halves, when I was doing some drive-through runs, they had boxes. Which tells me they're ordering for somebody. So if they're already accustomed to it, I will jump in line. Yeah, 4 is probably a pretty good number. It's enough, but it's not too much where you feel like you're being a pain in the butt. I've gone really heavy on my pickup bank. He's essentially been my main source. That's why it's such a pain point for me to have them close. But oh, look at that! The Rockefeller too. Got our first W in the box. And the Rockefellers have done the best for me. I actually have had to start selling off some of my stuff to keep my pickups going, and the Rockefellers have done the best for me for resale. Actually better than the AMPs. Not sure why, but I do not question it. Oops. Yeah, the banks seem to be doing that. I think that the COVID things made them realize that they can get away with less. A lot of the BOAs in my area have been opening and closing. Now they say it's because of the COVID, but one of our branches here, it was closed for a year. And that's not from COVID. It's a nice looking 68. We'll keep you. But I think they're just trying to, downgrade some of their infrastructure. I mean, I enjoy going through the half dollars because it's your best chance at silver. I honestly don't even know why they still have them. I mean, I can understand minting them. I don't even know why they still have them out to order from the banks. And it seems, I mean, I don't know what else they're used for besides coin roll hunters looking for silver. And it's not like you ever see them in circulation. It seems kind of like a strange thing to continue doing, but I'm okay with it because it helps me at this point, but it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, the biggest problem they have about wasting money is, the locations they do have, they're doing them half-assed. I mean, the one location I went to, when I was walking in the other day, I hit my bag on the door, and it tore it, and I started dropping quarters. So when I got up there, I'm like, hey, do you have another change bag that we can drop this into? Because there's a hole in this one now, and it's not good for me, and it's not good for you. He didn't even have a bag. He's like, yeah. He's like, we've been closed for a while, and we've only been open for a couple of weeks now, and we still don't have all that stuff yet. I'm like, it's a coin bag for a business. What do you mean you don't have it? But, and then in that location, they always have a line because they only have one teller. And people are like, what's the deal, man? You have all these locations that are closed, and you send us to this one that we find that's open. You got one teller working. I'm like, I'm at the bank every day. I'm not, I'm not going to get all high and mighty and crazy like these people. But I mean, if I was a non-regular banker, I can see why it's like super frustrating for them, because they're like, I just want to get in and out, man. And they got this Yahoo with all these coins that make their transaction take too long. Yeah, you have 3-gallon buckets, but I can't do 3-gallon buckets because I don't have a change machine. I simply bring them in and drop them and leave. And at BOA, if you tell them what's in the bags, they do a counter credit directly to your account that's available that day. So I go in and I say, there's $1,000 in here, and they credit my account, and I can take it out instantly. I would love a change counter because it'd make it easier for them and me. But the only one that has one is the credit union, and they don't even carry coin. I stopped in there, and on top of that, they charge you, I think it's 2% to use their coin machine. That could get expensive quick. Yeah, I'm happy with being able to drop my bags off like that, because I know that I heard RFT talking about it. A lot of the banks, whether you know what's in it or not, they take it and it has to go to the counting service first, and it can take 7 to 10 days before it hits your account. So you're basically floating money for 2 weeks. And that's no cool. That's not, I mean, I would never be able to do that. I'd be like, okay, I got my coins. I'll be back in 2 weeks to pick up my next batch. Oh. Yeah, and I mean, every once in a blue moon, I'll use, I mean, now I don't because I can use the bags. When I was having to re-roll, I would use the Coinstar for my pennies. But I would get a gift card to Amazon for stuff that I needed to buy, just so I could avoid the fees. But yeah, paying to have somebody count your coin sounds kind of crazy. People do it all day long, though, man. That's would be a great way to source coin. There's a guy locally here that advertises. He'll come to your place. I think he only charges 1 or 2%, but I think it's how he gets coin. He just he'll pick up your coin, run it through his machine in the back of his van, and pay you on the spot. And I think he just uses it to find miscellaneous stuff. And I guess the percentage, at 1 or 2%, to make a little bit of money, or at least enough for his running around time. But you'd have to have a coin counter to be able to do something like that. Look at that one. It's a D, so I will keep that and check it against my hoard. Yeah, pennies can be a pain in the butt. But like I said, now that I've got what I do when I take them back now, so that way once I did it where I just didn't declare it and just dropped them off and just waited for them to verify it. But now what I do, I just weigh it, and I just write the number based on the weight. You still working late, or are you at home chillaxing? Yeah, Rob can afford that. You say Rob can afford that, but he's pretty strict on his business budget. He makes sure that every dollar is accounted for. So he might be able to afford it, but he doesn't. He makes sure he squeezes those lemons hard, that's for sure. You gonna get any of that weather that's coming through? I think it's in the Midwest right now, but it's coming to the coast. Is that gonna affect you guys at all? Or are you far enough south that it's gonna miss you? There's some nasty storms coming through, that's for sure. Yeah, we're in some wind. That's not too bad. This stuff was, they were talking about nasty stuff like potential hail and tornadoes and all kinds of stuff. Weather's been really wild this year. Uh-oh. Back on the airman, looks like. Yeah, seriously. Like we need another eventful year. I tell you, man. Like, are we ever going to see normal again? Is the question. Or I should say, what is the new normal going to be? Darn airmen. So many airmen. There's no way these guys are key dates. And if they were, or if they are, I will cry because I've thrown past so many. Like, wow. This beginning. I was watching the news tonight, and I didn't realize that both Facebook and Twitter still have not given Trump his accounts back, which I think is pretty crazy. I mean, we're what, almost six months past the election, and they still haven't given his account back. It's like, what? Yeah, I don't think they're gonna either. But, you know, I mean, he's not the kind of person that can, like, sneak around and just open up another account either, though. So, I don't know that it really silences him that much, per se, anyway. He certainly has other ways of, you know, getting his message out, so I'm not quite sure how it really stops things. But, you know, that's the way media works. Whoever owns it curves things towards whatever benefits them. I was also watching 60 Minutes this weekend, and they were talking about the superconductor chips that are used in everything now, and how far behind we are in that gamut. And the one guy's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up in 2 years." I'm like, "Yeah, you'll catch up to today in 2 years, but in 2 years you'll be 5 years behind now." Makes no sense to me at all. And I guess the whole thing started out when Apple came to them to make some stuff when the iPhone first came out. And they said, yeah, no, we don't want that business. And so Apple took it elsewhere and now is doing all their business with that other vendor. It's just lazy business practices that have come back to haunt them. I saw I guess you can call it a documentary, but it's not really. It was just a video more about ice cream machines at McDonald's. I used to sell ice cream machines, or soft serve machines. And so I found the video kind of interesting, but they were basically talking about how it boils down to the relationship between McDonald's and the main manufacturer of the ice cream machines, and them just kind of covering for each other because they're both old business partners, and they're just kind of supporting the lack of change. Is basically the main reason why the ice cream machines at McDonald's never work. Yeah, printing a whole bunch of more money and just throwing it out there. That tonight I was watching. They said that a lot of businesses are having a hard time. They have jobs now, and they can't fill the jobs because people are richer being unemployed with the money that's being given to them. So they're like, why am I going to go work for $9 an hour when I'm essentially getting $16 an hour to sit home? Crazy. the thing that kills me is what's going on with crypto right now, because there's a lot of people that are dabbling in that game that don't know what the heck they're doing, and it's all over the place right now. I mean, Dogecoin went from a penny stock, basically. It's now almost 50 cents a coin. And a lot of people, I mean, I know that I was talking with Mad Stacker, and he jumped out at 8 cents. He was happy that he made some money. I'm like, dude, if you could, I mean, I don't know how much you originally had invested, but if you just let it sit there, kind of like you do with your silver, you never know what's going to happen. Could you imagine buying Bitcoin in 2008? I remember I was talking with a guy that I used to work with. He was trying to get rid of his Bitcoin. He had gotten it for something, and he was super happy that he got $200 a coin. And I'm like, if he would have just set it and forget it, man. If he really believed in it. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, that's for sure. I would tell you that the people that know a lot about them don't even really know a lot about them. I've been interested in the mining aspect of it, and I don't know that I even really understand that. It's expensive to mine, though. Actually, I shouldn't say it's expensive to mine. It's expensive to buy all the crap you need to mine. So from an ROI, I mean, you're in it for 6 months, or 3 to 6 months just to break even on the equipment. It's just too volatile for me. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some of the stuff they have now is, I mean, I was watching different things on it. I mean, you're essentially for a DIY, small rig, you're going to spend $600 to $1,000. And if you get one of the, if you get the kind that most people are using, you're probably going to dump $2,500 into it. And then it's going to take you anywhere from 3 to 6 months to cover that with what you've mined. And that's assuming nothing breaks. You don't got to put anything back into it. I don't know if I believe in it that heavily. It's a pretty nice rubber no return, man. Yeah, I found a couple of sites where I was able to mine Dogecoin for free. Both of them belly flopped already, though. I was like, sweet, look at this. I'm like, yeah, they were just out there trying to collect money from people, because they had the free aspect, but then they had some where you could pay to make more. They were just skimming off the top of the people that were coming in to pay for more of the greedy ones, and then belly flopped. Run with the money. The thing is, people get so excited and so hyped about it, they see stuff like that and they jump in there. I mean, some of the higher levels they had, people were, throwing thousands of dollars at them because they promised returns of like 300%. I don't know how you see that and don't say, nah, that doesn't seem quite right. Maybe this one looks good. Well, it looks good because it's an S. Great Smoky Mountain. Not meant for circulation. Non-proof. S. Mondias Cox, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. How is Mexico City these days? What time are you on tonight, Phil? Oh, more air. Gosh. Can't escape these guys. Yeah, we got a bunch of coins tonight, Mondios. These are hoping to find ourselves some W quarters. I wish I could get away from these airmen, though. We did get one W. The West Point quarter is what we're trying, and it has the privy if it's from 2020, and does not have the privy if it's from 2019. Those salts always look so nice, man. There's your bet, Phil. It was just a P. Plumber Stacker, welcome. Thanks for stopping in, man. I'm hanging in there. This box has got a ton of newer airmen in it, so it's not quite as pretty as my normal box, but we did get a W, a Rockefeller, and we got an S minted from the Smoky Mountains. So it's produced, so I can't complain. If you can pull a W out, the W's have been harder and harder and harder to come by. One of the cool things I got today was I got the Crossing the Delaware. Whoops. The 2021s. So I was pretty stoked about that I was able to score those and get an uncirculated box. So I was able to get some really nice examples. They're pretty D. Still recovering from your marathon stream? I was on there the other night, and you guys were going strong when I ran out of steam. There's so much to learn. I mean, I know enough about enough to make myself dangerous, but there is so much stuff to learn. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I know a lot more about the quarters now, simply because I've been hunting. I mean, I've done 120 boxes so far this year, so I see them a lot. And I still don't know all that there is to know. Oh man, the shipping on all that stuff is going to be a nightmare. Just getting the wheel set up was hard enough, right? Oh. Hey, it's a important milestone though, so it's well worth the pain, I think. I look forward to getting there someday myself. I gotta get my watch hours up though. That's why I've started streaming when I've been doing so many hunts that I don't film. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start streaming them. And if people swing by, they swing by. If they don't, that's okay too. But to me, it's free hours that will help me get closer to the end goal. Yeah, the wheel. You know, the crazy thing is like, Mad Stacker's done that twice, and his is so fluid, and you're like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. And it's such a pain in the ass. And that is why people use the random comment generator. But that being said, the wheel is fun. And it's a great way to keep people engaged for a long period of time. So, if nothing less, there's that entertainment value of it. But I've been crushed by that wheel so many times. When Mad Stacker did that, he gave away everything under the sun, I think. It was like every number won something, and I couldn't win something to save my life. Like, it could have been, you know, anything. It's like, he gave away so much stuff, my name wasn't picked, and then all of a sudden there was this big, huge gap in the wheel from, like, if you made it down to like 60 until like 10, there was like nothing in that big, huge, and that's of course where I fell. But oh well, win some, you lose some, right? I was telling someone earlier tonight, it kind of seems to go in spurts for most people, except for Jimmy Lakari, that is. Jimmy has a very good lucky streak going, but for most people, it seems to go kind of in spurts. That where you're like, didn't that guy just win someplace else just the other night? Because I hear a lot of the same names like in chunks. It seems. But yeah, it's cool. We definitely have a very cool community here, and it's nice to see all the support and the friendship and the coolness. So it's always fun to see that camaraderie. Do you plow through any coins at all, or you simply use, for the most part, straight stack? I do the coins because this is the cheapest way to find stuff that I want. I wish I could buy more than I'm able to, but all in time. There's a lot of cool stuff I would love to have, but I have not fed my money tree well enough lately. Yeah, hunting for pretty Morgans. That's pretty standard, I think, for stackers and collectors. Unfortunately, you don't find too many Morgans in the wild. Coin roll fishing did get a Morgan in the wild, though. He got a bag of what he thought were Ikes from the bank, of like a couple of hundred Ikes, and he was going through and he got a Morgan with his Ikes, which was pretty cool. But yeah. The prices on Morgans right now, you're right, is just ridiculous, man. They just, I mean, the premiums on silver in general are kind of ridiculous right now, I think. I mean, let's call it what it is. The spot price should be higher, and the premium should be where they should be. You don't keep the spot low and the premiums high. That just tells me that spot's not right. My opinion, at least. But Morgans have been commanding a huge premium right now. Yeah, there's a lot of greed going on, and at the end of the day, some of these things they're doing it's only making a certain number of people rich, and honestly, I think it's probably the wrong people, but I don't know. It's just craziness. I'm just hoping that premiums can get back to something a little bit closer to normal. But like I was telling, Archaeology Mikey was in here last night, and he was telling me how he's got this much silver, and he's got this much collectibles, and he's got this much money. I'm like, it's only worth that if you're willing to sell it. So many of us collect, and it is a way of banking wealth, but it's not really worth that unless you're willing to part with it. And so many of us have a hard time parting with it. Oh. Yeah. Many of us are not Wall Street whales. Wish I was, but most of the Wall Street whales are not the nicest of people either, I don't think. It's pretty ruthless to live that lifestyle, I think. All these salties in here are so pretty. Just don't get it, man. Alright, we need some last roll of luck here. After this roll, we're on to our last roll of this box. Already. Unbelievable that we went through this one this quickly, but having all those airmen did not help make this that crazy of a hunt. But it's better than the 3 other boxes of completely uncirculated coin that I got today that I can't hunt at all. I don't see any W edges. Hey, it was great chat with you again. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Missed something there, I think. Have to go back through. Oh, darn it. No more W's for me. I don't know, I messed up on someplace. I'll have to message him. Okie dokie. That's a wrap, folks. So we ended up with S minute, W Rockefeller, and 4 pretty quarters. I don't think anybody's still here, but I appreciate all of you that stopped by. And we will catch you on our next hunt. Have a great night, guys.